Long before the muezzin-esque call or the toll of church bells reshaped the spiritual soundscape of Africa, the continent pulsed with a symphony of indigenous voices. Whispers from sacred groves, thunder from mountain shrines, and the rhythmic chants of diviners under starlit skies. These were not primitive superstitions, but sophisticated cosmological systems that governed ethics, politics, healing, and the very rhythm of existence. From the Nile's ancient floodplains to the Kalahari's red dunes, African peoples conceived of a universe alive with divine intelligence, where every river, storm, and ancestor carried sacred purpose. We begin in the Yoruba heartlands of present-day Nigeria and Benin, where the Yoruba people, numbering over 40 million today, trace their origins to Ile-Ife, the sacred city of creation. Archaeological evidence from Ife's terracotta and bronze heads, 12th–15th centuries CE, confirms a centralized kingdom with divine kingship. The Yoruba cosmos is anchored by Olodumare, also Olorun, owner of the sky, the supreme creator who is genderless, omnipresent, and largely uninvolved in daily affairs. Described by scholar Bolaji Idowu, 1973, as the ultimate source of all existence. Olodumare delegates authority to over 400 Orisha, divine intermediaries who embody natural forces and human virtues. Obatala, the king of the white cloth, sculpted humanity from clay at Ile-Ife. His symbol is white, representing purity and wisdom. Oshun, goddess of the Oshun River, governs love, fertility, and diplomacy. Her brass fan and honey offerings reflect her role in conflict resolution, documented in Ifa divination verses recorded by Wande Abimbola, 1997. Ṣàngó, the thunder god and fourth Alaafin of Oyo, wields a double axe, symbolizing justice. His cult sustained the Oyo Empire's military might through oracle consultations. The Yoruba concept of Ash, divine energy flowing through speech, ritual, and art, parallels the Dogon idea of vibration creating reality, as noted by Marcel Griol, 1965. Southwest of Yorubaland, in the Fon and Yu territories of Benin, Togo, and Ghana, Vodun, meaning spirit in Fon, structured a theocratic society. The Fon kingdom of Dahomey, 1600–1900 CE, maintained a centralized monarchy with annual Xwetanu ceremonies honoring royal ancestors. The supreme deity is Mawu-Lisa, a dual-gendered creator, Mawu da moon female, Lisa da sun male, who birthed the universe through thought, according to oral histories documented by Melville Herskovits, 1938. Legba, the trickster guardian of crossroads, must be invoked first in every ritual. His phallic clay mounds mark village entrances. Sakpata, earth god of smallpox and healing, demands cool water and white cloth. His priests undergo years of seclusion in Hunon convents. The python deity Dan symbolizes continuity. Live pythons are kept in temples at Ouida, a practice continuing today despite Christian influence. Across the Sahara, ancient Egyptian, Kemetic religion spanned 3,000 years, evolving from pre-dynastic stellar cults to the New Kingdom's solar theology. The Ennead of Heliopolis structured cosmic order, atom self-created on the primordial mound, birthing Shu, air, and Tefnut, moisture, who produced Geb, earth, and Nut, sky. Ra, the sun god, merged with local deities, becoming Amun-Ra in Thebes. The Ogdoad of Hermopolis posited 4 pairs of primordial deities, Nun-Nunnet, a watery abyss, preceding creation. Mayat, goddess of truth, was not a creator, but the principle maintaining universal balance. Pharaohs offered her feather daily. Osiris, murdered and resurrected, ruled the Duat. His myth, recorded in the pyramid texts c. 2400 BCE, explains agriculture's renewal. Isis, great of magic, reassembled Osiris using spells still recited in modern occult traditions. The Book of the Dead, c. 1550 BCE, details the heart-weighing ceremony against Ma'at's feather, a practice influencing later Christian judgment motifs. In Ghana and Ivory Coast, Akan spirituality centers on Nyame, also Onyankopon, the Shining One, a sky god approached through intermediaries called Abazum. The Ashanti Empire, 1670–1902, enshrined the Golden Stool, said to have descended from heaven in 1695, as the nation's soul, never touched by human feet. Esase Ya, Old Mother Earth, born on Thursday, receives libations before farming. Her symbol is the Earth's curve. The trickster Anansi, a spider who stole wisdom from Nyame, features in tales recorded by R.S. Rattray, 1930, teaching cunning over brute force. Akan Natoro, patrilineal spirit, and Mogya, matrilineal blood, concepts shape inheritance and spiritual identity, paralleling Igbo-Chi dualism. Among the Igbo of southeastern Nigeria, Chukwu, Great Spirit, resides in the sun, delegating to a Lucy like Allah, earth goddess and moral custodian. Her shrine at Nari features the Ofo staff, symbol of truth, used in oaths. Amadioha, god of thunder, strikes oath-breakers. His cult sustained the Nari hegemony's pacifist diplomacy, c. 900–1911 CE. Ikenga, a horned figure representing achievement, adorns personal shrines. Men offer yams to activate their right hand of success, per Victor Uchendu, 1965. In southern Africa, Zulu cosmology recognizes Unkulunkulu, the Great One, who emerged from reeds and created humanity. Nomkubulwane, the heavenly princess, brings rain. Maidens honor her with beer offerings during the Umkosi Wokweshwama first fruits ceremony. Amadlozi ancestors mediate between living and divine. Sangoma diviners enter trance states induced by drumming, diagnosed by E. Evans Pritchard's comparative work, 1976, as structurally similar to Azande oracles. The Bantu philosophical concept of Entu, documented by Placide Temples, 1945, posits a vital force linking Muntu, persons, Kintu, things, and Hantu, place-time. In the Congo Kingdom, 1390–1914, Nzambi Mpungu resides beyond the sky, while Simbi water spirits govern fertility. The Luba of DRC recount Bumba vomiting the sun, moon and stars, a creation myth paralleling Dogon cosmology. The Dogon of Mali's Bandiagara escarpment revere Amma, who created the world through a vibrating egg containing the Nomo, amphibious twins sacrificed to restore order. Their Sirius B knowledge, reported by Griaul and Dieterlen, 1965, remains debated. Robert Temple's claims of extraterrestrial contact lack scholarly consensus. The San, Bushman, of the Kalahari honor Kagan, the praying mantis trickster who shaped the moon from his shoe. Trance dances activate En-Om energy. Healers pull out sickness in rituals depicted in 27,000-year-old rock art, per David Lewis Williams, 2002. The eland antelope embodies potency. Its fat anoints initiates. Finally, pre-Christian Oromo of Ethiopia worshipped Wak, a sky god approached on mountaintops. The Gadar system, a democratic age-grade governance, integrated spirituality, elders divined under sacred trees, per Asmarom Lejes, 1973. These traditions share striking parallels with global indigenous systems. Like Yoruba Orisha, Hopi Kachinas embody natural forces through masked dance. Anansi mirrors Coyote in Native American tales, both tricksters who steal fire or wisdom. Masai Engai resembles Inca Inti in solar centrality, yet differences abound. African pantheons often emphasize possession, Yoruba, Vodun, versus Native American vision quests. Bantu Entu contrasts with Shinto Kami as localized spirits without vital force metaphysics. Despite colonial bans, British ordinances outlawed witchcraft in 1911. French decrees suppressed Vodun in 1930's Dahomey. These traditions endured. Santeria in Cuba fuses Yoruba Orisha with Catholic saints. Candomblé in Brazil preserves Fon rituals. Today, revitalization movements flourish. Ifa priests train in Ile-Ife, Dogon Hogan maintain serious vigils, and Zulu Sangoma graduate thousands annually. The gods were never silenced, only translated. In the brass of Oshun's mirror, the thunder of Ṣàngó's axe, the silence of Niame's sky, Africa's ancient voices still speak, reminding us that divinity was never imported. It was always home. Across pre-colonial Africa, the gods did not dwell in distant heavens, but walked the earth in rivers, thunder, and the breath of ancestors. Reverence was not abstract piety, but a daily choreography of offerings, dance, and blood, binding human society to cosmic order. In Yoruba cities like Oyo and Ife, Olodumare received no direct sacrifice. His transcendence demanded mediation through Orisha. At dawn, priests in white cloth poured cool water for Obatala on sacred hills, chanting, "Obatala Baba Alaso Fun Fun," Father of white cloth, while sprinkling kola nuts, symbols of creation's purity. Women seeking fertility danced to Oshun at Osogbo's river grove, offering pumpkins and honey. Brass bells rang as her spirit possessed devotees, their eyes rolling back in golden ecstasy. Ṣàngó's devotees, red-clad warriors, sacrificed rams at his basalt shrines in Oyo, blood dripping onto double-axe stones while drummers invoked thunder. Kawo Kabiesi! The animal's death was not cruelty but communion, its life force, Ashe, transferred to the god, who in turn blessed justice and fertility. Archaeological evidence from Oyo's palace, c. in 1600 CE, reveals ram skulls embedded in altars, confirming annual Odun Egungun festivals where masked ancestors danced amid goat sacrifices, linking living lineages to the unseen. In Vodun temples of Abomi, Dahomey-S kings offered human captives to Hevioso during droughts, though scholars like Edna Bay, 1998, note such sacrifices were rare, reserved for state crises. More common were chickens for Legbar at Crossroads. His clay phallic mound received palm oil and feathers, ensuring safe passage for travelers and spirits. Sakpata's earth priests buried white kola nuts and poured libations of gin to avert smallpox. Survivors scarred by the disease became lifelong devotees, their bodies living altars. The Fon Ixwetanu ceremony saw the king sacrifice a bull to royal ancestors, its blood anointing the throne, reinforcing divine kingship documented in oral epics recorded by Paul Hazume, 1930. Ancient Egyptian reverence was architectural grandeur. At Karnak, priests offered bread, beer, and incense to Amun-Ra in daily opening of the mouth rituals. The god statue, bathed in Nile water, was dressed in linen, finer than any mortals. The Opet festival saw Amun's bark carried from Karnak to Luxor amid millions of onlookers. Oxen were slaughtered, their hearts burned on altars to renew Ma'at. Mummification itself was sacrifice, organs removed and placed in canopic jars guarded by Horus's 4 sons, the body's preservation, ensuring the Ka's eternal feast. The beautiful feast of the valley saw families picnic at tombs, offering food to Osiris, a practice echoing Akan libations to Asase-Ya. Among the Akan, Nyame received no blood. His sky domain accepted only prayers and kola, but river gods like Tano demanded goats during fishing seasons. Priests in red and black cloth slit throats over sacred waters, fish scales glistening like gold. Anansi tales were sacrificed through storytelling. Children offered palm wine to elders who wove spiders' cunning into moral lessons under baobab trees. The Ashanti golden stool, never sat upon, received annual ram blood at Odwira, its purity symbolizing national sunsum, spirit, per R.S. Rattray's 1927 fieldwork. Igbo reverence centered on Ala, earth goddess and moral arbiter. Yam farmers poured palm wine at her shrines before planting. Masquerades, Manwu, danced with goat sacrifices during Iriji, New Yam Festival. Masks carved from Iroko wood, embodying ancestral judgment. Amadioha's thunder priests sacrificed dogs, animals associated with loyalty, to avert lightning strikes on oath breakers. Ikenga shrines received chicken blood from men seeking success. The horned figure's right hand, smeared red, symbolized achievement's cost. In Zulu kraals, Unkulunkulu was honored indirectly through Amadlozi. A family head slaughtered a goat at the cattle kraal's rear, sprinkling blood on the Isibaya fence while calling ancestors by name. Bayede Mukulu, Zagoma diviners entered trance, foam at the mouth, to diagnose illness. Goat gall bladders read like maps of the spirit world. Nomkubulwane's maidens offered beer in clay pots at first fruit ceremonies, their bare feet pressing earth to ensure rain. Dogon Hogan offered millet beer to Amma at cliff shrines. Nomo twins received twin chickens, their dual sacrifice mirroring cosmic balance. Zan hunters left Eland fat at rock paintings after trance dances. Enom energy activated by clapping and chanting until healers collapsed, dying to visit the spirit realm. These practices, blood, dance, possession, traveled the middle passage in enslaved bodies. In Brazil, candomblé emerged in Bahia's terreiros by the 1830s. Yoruba captives called Nago rebuilt Ifa under Catholic guise. Oxala, Obatala became Jesus. Yemanja, Yemoja, the Virgin Mary. But core rituals persisted. Orishas possession required specific sacrifices. White doves for Oxala, goats for Ṣàngó. The Ile Akshe Iya Naso Oka Terreiro, founded Sabi 1830 in Salvador, maintained Ifa divination with opale chains smuggled in rosaries. By 1900, Candomblé's Festa de Caboclo honored indigenous spirits alongside Orisha, blending African and Tupi elements. Ifa's priesthood, Babalorixá and Iyalorixá, required years of initiation, mirroring Yoruba Isegun. Enslaved priests like Iya Naso, mother of Nassau, taught Ifa verses in Yoruba, preserved in cantigas sung during Jira. Animal blood, forbidden in churches, flowed in backyards. The axe of sacrifice sustained community resistance. By the 1930s, anthropologist Ruth Landes documented terreiros, where Ogum received dogs, his iron sword buried in earth to protect against police raids. In the United States, Ifa arrived later, but with equal resilience. Oja, Lukumi priests in 1950s Harlem, descendants of Cuban migrants, initiated Americans into Santeria. The Church of the Lukumi Babalu Ai in Miami, founded 1974, fought legal battles culminating in the 1993 Supreme Court case, Church of Lukumi Babalu Ai versus City of Hialeah, affirming animal sacrifice as protected speech. Baba Ifa Karade, S. 1994 book, The Handbook of Yoruba Religious Concepts, introduced Ifa to African Americans seeking roots post-civil rights. Today, Orunmila's 16 palm nuts divine destinies in Brooklyn Botanicas and Rio favelas alike. In Salvador, the Ile Axe Opoa Fonja Terreiro trains hundreds annually. Its My Stella, D. 2018, published Ifa Philosophy in Portuguese. In Atlanta, Chief Ifagbemi Agunsina initiates Diaspora priests via Zoom, merging oral tradition with technology. The International Congress of Orisha Tradition, 1981 present, unites Brazilian, Cuban, and Nigerian priests, standardizing Ifa's 256 Odu across oceans. From Oyo's thunderstones to Bahia's coconut-rinsed altars, the gods demanded blood and received it. Ram in Africa, goat in Brazil, chicken in Miami. Each drop was a contract, life for life, ancestor for descendant, Africa for diaspora. The drums never stopped, they simply changed oceans.